Last week, I released a cover of God Only Knows by For King and Country as a tribute for my friend Noah. It was a super fun collaboration between a lot of his mutual friends, and it was a lot of fun to make, for sure. But what if I told you it almost didn't happen? This video is going to be broken down into two pretty distinct parts. The first part I'm going to spend telling you the backstory of the song, as well as how I met Noah, our friendship going up to his eventual passing, and a lot of other sensitive topics in the background of why I did what I did, why I released the video the way I did, when I did it, etc. So we're going to go through all that. Then the second part is going to be devoted a lot more to the actual production of the song, the video, and everything else that goes along with that. So please make sure to watch the whole video to make sure you don't miss anything. Before we begin this first part, I would like to warn anyone who is close to this situation. I'm going to be covering some really sensitive topics. If you're not comfortable with like open discussion of these topics, I would recommend skipping to the time card on screen just to avoid all this and get just to the production side of things. Yeah. I met Noah Slocum a few years ago, shortly after graduated junior high. I wish I had a specific memory of meeting him to share with you guys, but honestly, I really don't. Our family started hanging out together a lot, and at first I would deliberately avoid hanging out with Noah because frankly, I found him kind of weird. But after some prolonged exposure to him and his family, we started playing video games such as Minecraft, GoldenEye, 007, Smash Bros, and Terraria. And yeah, he kicked my butt at literally all of these. We really bonded over that. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, fast forward a couple of years, and I went to Midstate with a couple of my other friends to go see a For King and Country concert. They were playing free, really close to where I live, so of course we all went. Me and a bunch of other friends went to go, and completely unplanned, we ended up bumping into Noah and his family there at the same show, and it was pretty cool. It was just kind of like a, hey, I know you kind of moment. It was really cool. The whole show was fantastic. If you haven't seen For King and Country live, you have not lived. It is literally one of the best live shows I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of concerts. But at the most epic part of the show, for sure, had to be when the two guys from For King and Country, I'm totally blanking on their names because I'm an idiot, they came on stage and played a brand new song they hadn't premiered yet called God Only Knows. And it was the most emotional, amazing experience I think I've ever had at a concert. And even talking with Noah afterwards, we were talking about like, yeah, that was amazing. That was a really, really cool thing what they did. Even up there, one of the guys was talking about why he wrote the song and why it meant what it meant to him. It was pretty incredible. Fast forward a couple more months, maybe even a year. I don't actually remember. Noah and his family are over at our house one night. Noah was complaining a little bit about not feeling too good. I didn't really pay it any mind because, heck, I don't think about these kind of things. I actually had to leave early that night for band practice, and I even left in the middle of a Super Smash Bros. Battle that I never got to finish. By the time I got home from band practice, the Slocums already left, and because it was late. And I had no idea then, but that was actually the last time I ever saw or spoke to Noah, was before I left for practice. And within a few days of this happening, we received the news Noah had developed cancer. Of course, we found ourselves praying for him and his family on a regular basis, but in the end, I suppose God had other plans. Because on May 14th, 2020, Noah passed away. I can't claim to have been his best friend or anything, or even close friends, really. But regardless of the labels you put on it, I was pretty heartbroken. One of the most incredible things about this, for sure, was seeing the dozens upon dozens of green hearts popping up all over Instagram. It was amazing. And I decided I wanted to do something too. About a week later, I put a post on Instagram calling for anyone who knew Noah to come help me out with something huge. I also posted the same thing on Discord, and right away I got about 20 people on board for this massive collaboration that I was working on. The plan was to assemble all these people to sing God Only Knows together. Especially given the state of our planet at the moment, with everyone being home, I thought it would be really cool if we could get everyone to record a video of themselves singing the chorus with their phones and on their phone cameras, just to have that kind of Zoom-esque feel. It was... And I thought it'd mean a lot to the family and all the people who were close to him. I really wanted to try and include as many people as I can in this. So my friend Jay, she sent her vocal clip in very quickly. Huge shout out to her. She was fantastic in this. Her voice is incredible. And then after that, it just kind of died. So I created a little Discord server solely for the purpose of this project. This is where I was gathering everybody, and I could see everybody was active and online because that's kind of the way Discord works if you've ever used it before. But no one was really replying to the stuff I was sending, and I'm sure everyone was busy and that's on them. But one thing I don't understand is the fact that after the video came out, I received several people texting me being like, what the heck, man, why didn't you include me in this? Well, I really hate to sound like this. I really do. I'm sure everyone had their reasons or whatever, but you kind of miss your chance because I even postponed the release of the video for another week. I announced it several times on my Instagram story and on Discord. I was constantly pushing it, my two primary social medias. I apologize if you didn't get the memo. Please stop harassing me about it. I apologize. I did try. Believe me, I did try, and I really wanted more people involved in this than there was. And after repeated prompting and stuff, there were people who just weren't responding, and on top of that, the people that were responding, most of them were responding to tell me they didn't really want to do the project, which is fine. Again, I'm sure they have legitimate reasons, and it's totally fine and understandable why they don't want to do it. However, it was nonetheless frustrating because the nature of the project, because the short time frame I had to make everything, to get everybody's videos gathered, audio edited, the song finished, my vocals finished, the recording finished, going over to Nathan's house to record the bass line finished. Getting all of that done in the span of 2 weeks is crazy as it is. Plus I had other stuff going on. I was also attempting to graduate high school that same week, which thankfully I did, yay. But yeah, and again, I'm not trying to make this about me. I never wanted it to be like that, so I apologize if in the midst of all that chaos if I offended anyone by being too pushy. Again, I understand how extremely sensitive this whole topic is. I'd envisioned this massive collaboration with dozens of Noah's friends all singing the song together to commemorate him, but again, I guess God had other plans. Upon expressing my frustration to Jay and Avalon, they both kind of came up with the same solution, and that was to maybe rethink the way I was going to edit the video, put everything together, edit the song, and make it a little more meaningful. Instead of just here's a bunch of people singing, it was going to be more of here's a couple people singing in a lot more, tender is kind of the wrong word because it's a powerful, loud song, but a little more emotion to it. And so we rolled with that, and honestly, I gotta say, I could not be happier with the way it came out. I'm really proud of what the four of us came up with together, being me, Nathan, Jayden, and Avalon. Also, quick side note, if you haven't checked out the Slocum's GoFundMe yet, please go do that. The link's in the description. They really need your help now more than ever. And one thing I can't stress this enough, it's insane how close I was to quitting this project. I mean, I literally, even on that Discord server, I announced to everyone in my frustration, I was like, look, I'm gonna have to pull the plug on this whole thing. I can't do it. You guys aren't helping me. I'm not able to do this. It's too much. There's just too much going on. It was one of the most stressful projects I've ever worked on. It was insane. Came out amazing, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm apparently you guys are enjoying it too, which is awesome. And I'm really, first off, grateful on a personal level, I'm grateful for the attention it's getting because I put over 20 hours of work into it, well over 20 hours even. I mean, we're talking days upon days of working. It all just kind of came together, and I'm really, really happy with what we managed to come up with, which is actually kind of a beautiful segue into part 2. So yeah, for this part of the video, we're actually going to switch gears and switch over to the desktop recording so you guys can actually see a breakdown of the song, how I produced it, the editing of the video, the drive folder, all the stuff we had over there. So let's switch cameras and get started. That was cringy on so many levels. All right, so this is the song when it's broken down into all different tracks in the Audacity project. Other audio producers looking at this are probably having an aneurysm looking at how chaotic and messy it is because I suck at organizing things. I tried my best though with the labeling and stuff, but honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really care. So it's pretty easy to locate where I need things. So the first thing I want to talk about is, we'll just start at the top, I guess. This is just the basis. The whole song is based around this guitar track, which is pretty much just playing the same chord progression throughout with a little bit of variance here and there. The song, I believe, is scaled down, I think 3 steps, just because my vocal range is lower. And I wanted it to be easier for everybody to sing because, let's be real, not everyone can sing like the guys from freaking country. Yeah, so it scales up in intensity a bit. I have some reverb on it to to give it some more spacey feel. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward strum pattern. Nothing too fancy there. Moving on, I know it's labeled scratch vocal, but that's because this is the original track vocal for it. So originally in some of the original demos, I had this for that one part layered on top of. There's a kinda love that there's a kinda love. So I had that, and then I layered that with this, which is just the same clip pitched down, and then so together. So that was supposed to just be kind of an homage to the original thing, but then near the end of the project, when I realized I wasn't gonna have as many people helping me out with this, I actually reached out to Jayden again to see if she could help me out with doing some vocals on this part, and so she said yeah. So here's her vocals mixed in with that. And while we're talking about Jayden's vocals for this, do not turn that up because hers is really loud. So for each time she does that throughout the song, I actually change it slightly. So the first time it's just the one half. The second time it's both bits of it, and then the last time it's both bits. But instead of so I put a low pass filter on these two, the first two, to kind of give a more subdued feel. And then I took the same clip and I didn't do a low pass filter. I think I put a bunch of echo on it though, so it sounds like this. So it sounds a lot more spacey and gives it a lot more dynamics and doesn't sound quite as static throughout, which I really like doing that. Not that anybody really pays attention to the way I produce songs, but that's one thing I've always tried to do, is have no chorus sounds the same in any of my songs, any of the covers I do. Every chorus will build on itself until the last chorus is the best, which is why I always encourage people to, at least, my videos aren't that long, bare minimum, just watch to the end, just the one time. If you don't like it, dislike the video, but just give it a shot, because it always gets progressively better, and the last chorus is always my favorite. Moving on, this is an octave lower that I sang in the final chorus. God only knows what you've been. I think I have just some, everything in this song is just drenched in reverb, because for those who don't know, who's new to audio processing stuff, reverb is just basically to make kind of fill out sound. It's not really echoey, but imagine you're standing in a really long tunnel, check that. Not a really long tunnel, that'd be echo. If you're standing in a church cathedral or something and you're talking in there and you hear your voice just kind of bouncing around from all angles, that's close to what reverb actually is. I don't actually know scientifically what it is, but it's cool nonetheless. But yeah, so then this track is also the same one where I have the little ad-lib at the end. And then this might be my favorite aspect of the entire song, is just these two tracks, the hms at the beginning. So they are heavily auto-tuned, obviously. You can hear kind of the first one glitches out a bit as I'm finding the key when I was recording it. And auto-tune's trying to fix it. But I love this so much there. I think there's 4 or 5 layers actually stacked on top of each other for this, mixed into the same track. There's octaves on each other, harmonies. And I really wanted to, when I sent out the original demo, I didn't have the hums in it at all. And again, I'll put the link to the drive folder in the description, so you can actually, if you really care about this, you can listen to all the different iterations of the song there was before this. And originally it was just the guitar track, super subdued and in the background, and then everything just kind of came in kind of strong at the beginning. But then when I listened to the actual recording again, I realized this is such a such an important part of the original song that I figured I might as well homage to it a little bit here and at least attempt to do something similar. So I tried my best, and this is what I came up with, and I was really happy with that. And then so that actually continues through all the choruses. I find myself humming the bass line, just to give it a little bit more texture, I guess, more flavor. If you listen, you can kind of hear it. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only. Yeah, there you go. Oh, nope, not that. Control Y. Go back. Okay, there we go. So the next layer down, I guess, is the lead guitar that comes in, I think, at the beginning of the second verse. Yeah, there it is. So this, I literally just improv'd something. I always do this, and I think in every quarantine session so far, this is just what I do. It adds, again, a lot more texture to the second verse. It gives a lot more like flavor and a little more dynamics, I guess. I know I just threw a bunch of words at you that probably all have nothing to do with each other, don't even make sense, but there you go. There's that now. It's this lead bit is pretty, I think, pretty heavy on the reverb. You can hear me breathing. What the heck? How did I not cut that out? Whoops. Yeah, so there's a bunch of echo, there's a bunch of reverb on it. And then it like, if you just listen to that with, it makes it sound so much better than what it would sound like without it. Oh wait, not that. I guess that too, but wrong thing. Whoops. And then next down here, oh, okay, so the girls' vocals, yes. This was so cool the first time they sent me their vocals. So the first ones I got were actually from Jayden. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. And when she sent them to me, I think I actually like geeked out so hard on her. I was like, dude, this is amazing. And it fit perfectly with what I was singing there. Where are my vocals? What the heck? Where are my vocals? I don't actually know where my vocals are in the track. I lost my own vocals in there. But so her voice is just incredible. So seriously, well done, Jay, if you're watching this. I really, really appreciate you helping me out with this. And then the other one, harmony, the other harmony is Avalon. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. On its own, I'm realizing it sounds, because there's so much echo on it, it sounds really weird. But when it's mixed in with everything, let me, again, if I can find my own vocal track in here somewhere. Here, let's just throw in the hums just to get it kind of cool. Octave lower. No, where's the one I'm looking for? See, this is where I should organize my tracks a lot better. Bass. Oh wait. Is that it? No, that's the bridge. And then this, here we go. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. And there's a kind of love that God only knows. If I'm being honest, I feel like my vocals are ruining this. My vocals in this track are what makes it not as good as it could be. Like this one part, because oh shoot, bumped the mic. It really, like, if we just mute me for just that. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows. Yeah, just the two of them singing together, I think sounds really cool. Especially like with all the echo on Avalon's voice, it really just adds some, like, her voice is so spacey and out there. Also, so super minor note too, for people listening with earbuds, you would notice that actually their vocals are panned right and left, just to give it, again, more open feel. It's pretty common technique, I guess. I kind of discovered it recently, and I've used it in, again, like every quarantine session. This song is pretty much the epitome of all of the techniques I've learned over the course of doing this, like, put together. Yeah, let's keep moving on down. There's a kind of love that God... Whoa. Oh, for the lonely, this is the bridge vocals. The misunderstood. So, fun fact too, I never actually talked to Avalon about this, but she was also supposed to sing with this with me, even to the point where she sent me some audio clips, and it didn't quite fit. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, like, our voices there in that one spot just didn't work, and I can't Like, I honestly don't know why. I tried a lot of things. I tried pitch shifting my voice around, formant shifting things, a lot of EQ, just trying to figure out how I could get our voices to work together. But again, given the time crunch I had, I didn't really have time to try and shoehorn her vocals in there. I'm really grateful for her for being willing to sing this part, but it just didn't work for some reason. Oh wait, this is also, so it's not just the bridge.
Awake while the world is...
Okay, so this is also the bridge. It's the bridge and my verse vocals as well. So we don't need to listen to those because those are trash. But again, and before, I just need to clarify something too. I do use autotune. Contrary to popular belief, I am not that good. I just know how to do it. I can do it super subtly, and I can also do it super over the top, like in sections like this.
For the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood, and the ones to blame.
I mean, that is so obviously messed with, but if I play you this clip...
Wide awake while the world is sound asleep, and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming.
You can barely hear it, and if you're really listening, you can hear right in the end of that it like kind of glitches a little bit, but it's not anything worth noting, at least in my book. Then this next track is the choruses, I think.
God only knows what you've been through.
So I wish if I could redo anything with this song, it would be this one part or these choruses. I want to re-sing them. I could totally be okay with re-singing the choruses for the song because the day I recorded them, my throat was acting up a little bit. But again, because of the time crunch, I had to.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you.
Yeah, because it goes like super rough to super wet, back to super rough again, and it was kind of all over the place. But again, drenched in reverb. There's a little bit of autotune. Yeah, again, I know a couple people were asking me about like the producing. This is basically everything when it comes to producing for me is just drench it in autotune. Now here we go. Here's the bass line, which has its own funny story behind it. Because Nathan didn't actually record this part. This is me. Nathan can play the bass, and he's a fantastic bassist. I do not mean to discredit him at all with this, but what ended up happening, we went over to his house, recorded the entire bass line in one take. It was amazing. It was fluid. It was clean. It was awesome. I recorded the video of him playing the bass live so I wouldn't have to worry about syncing it up later. And then when I got home and I started trying to edit his thing, and we realized his bass was out of tune by like 2 cents, like just enough to be noticeable, but not enough for us to have noticed when we were recording it. So it was unfortunate, but I ended up overdubbing pretty much all of his bass line with my own, which I just followed what he did. It's not that hard. It was pretty straightforward bass line. Yeah, I didn't slap though. I can slap, but I didn't feel like slapping there. And the next thing we get to is I might have said this like several times, but my favorite part of this whole thing has got to be what I call the whoosh. If I go down here, it's I think the last thing I added was a reversed cymbal right at the beginning of the bridge right at the beginning of the last chorus at the end of the bridge to like transition back from the bridge to the chorus. And it added so much. I can't even explain to you why it did, but it made it sound so cool. I mean, just listen to this.
There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows.
Sorry, that was cringy. Let me play that again.
There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through.
So yeah, the whoosh, it just adds so much more flavor to it. Here, actually, let me just play it. Sorry, I'll get past this in a sec, but let me just, without it.
Kind of love that God only knows. God only knows.
It's just not quite as cool. And especially when I did the instrumental bit at the end of the video, I deliberately left that whoosh in there, and I think I actually might have turned it up a bit because it added so much to that transition. I was really, really happy with it. And I remember the first time I added it, I had my sister Alora. I like ran out of this room. I ran down the hallway and I was like, Alora, you need to come listen to this. And she did, and she thought it was cool. So there we go. There's that. So yeah, the next thing. So a lot of people were actually commenting on the drums of this for the beginning. They were saying, why are the drums so quiet? Well, those aren't drums. That's me hitting the guitar, which is something I've consistently kept in pretty much every Quarantine Sessions episode thus far. It's so that's why the downbeat sounds kind of or the kick pattern sounds a little bit inconsistent. That's because I'm literally just hitting a guitar. That's why even if you look at the volume spikes in this, if I can zoom in a bit more. You can actually see it's like inconsistent with the volume and the waveform, and it's a little unfortunate that that's the way that ends up being. But I really like that sound. And then this is the drums for the chorus, or at least the first choruses. And what I was I recorded 2 separate tracks and then mixed them together. I took 2 fingers and snapped on beat, and then I timed it with the hitting the guitar, which took some time to lay all that out. But I think it came out sounding pretty simplistic and kind of down there. But the real like incredible part of the drums for me, I want you to look at this for a second. This is Audacity. So this program doesn't have like an auto lining up feature. So I copy pasted every single kick from the bridge all the way up to the final chorus. I copy pasted that in and timed it perfectly. This, I'm not even kidding you, took so long. And then also this part's cool because I doubled it up. Although it's less cool when you listen to it without the bass line or anything else because it sounds really off time. You don't notice it when you're listening to the actual song though, so whatever. Yeah, though seriously, I actually copy pasted every single kick drum into this, and it took so long. And then I also did the same thing with the snare for the final chorus. I don't know. It sounds so much less epic without everything else happening.
God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. And there's a kind of love that God only knows.
Yeah, so just timing all that, the drum kit, I literally, again, copy pasted everything together for the final chorus, and it was so worth it, in my opinion. Also, one other thing nobody seemed to notice, but I think should be given a little bit of appreciation. On the final chorus, which again, like I said at the beginning of all this, the way I do it is I build it up until the last chorus is extremely epic. But so I also added in So for some reason, people always think that sound effect is a flute. It's a guitar, guys. It's an electric guitar with a ton of reverb on it because, again, I just drench everything in reverb. But it was pretty... It was a lot of fun to just kind of improv something up there. Same concept as the other lead guitar, which during this part, I believe I had actually playing the melody of the song. Oh, the other one's still on. Whoops. Yeah, but you get the idea. I was playing the melody of the chorus on the lead guitar, which, again, just for the sake of a little bit more texture, just doubling stuff up is really important when producing. Nope, please don't do that again. And the one other layer I think I skipped at some point, was this. Speaking of electric guitars, I don't know what struck me as that being a good idea to do, because on paper it should not work for something like this. I mean, it's a chill acoustic song. Why would I bring a I mean, that was done on Elisa too. That was my 7-string, my beast gent guitar that I brought downstairs just to record that one power chord that I think I played 3 times. Yeah, on every cymbal hit I play it, and it just made it. Here, just listen to this. With
Love that God only knows what you
without.
love that God only knows what you've been through.
I don't know if you guys really noticed that, but I notice it, and it sounds so much better with the power chord in there. Especially again when it comes to the instrumental at the end of the video, it just gives it so much more texture. But yeah, so that's a full walkthrough of all the recording stuff, all the like a breakdown of the song, like literally layer by layer actually. So there you go. There's that. Let's go ahead and do we want to? No, let's not save because I don't want to mess with anything. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like this more like in-depth, taking apart of the songs, I can do more of these like that. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, and also please remember to check out the link in the description to go support the Slocums. They really need this right now. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.